This drip all on my body, soaking wet the sunny. Looking like a walking lick, yeah, you can tell I'm grinding. Rolling back was full of loud, I can't hear nobody.
What's up, fuckers? Episode 21, The Beer Latte Show. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
Danielle.
And today we are speaking with Brian Byers. He is a reporter and producer for WTOC's Morning Break down in Georgia. He is a author, a writer, an illustrator, a father of like 1 million kids. He is a supernatural connoisseur, and he also believes that we are living in what he's calling a simulation.
So about the simulation, what are we talking about? Like Sims on steroids?
No, it's more of understanding the paranormal and understanding the supernatural. Paranormal being above normal, supernatural being more than natural. So, if you're a Christian and you go to church, you learn about, you hear things like Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit. You hear things like soul, and you hear things like prophets, and then if you go to what is considered the other side, let's say the counterfeit or the paranormal or community or whatever you want to label, you end up with psychics, and you end up with people that are researching spirits and talking to the other side through the veil. And so that veil tells me that there's one side and there's another side. And so what I've come to believe and understand is that both are the same. Both whether you're psychic or you're prophetic. One of them you're using. You're specifically focusing on using the gifts of Jesus. Okay, so that's the Christian side, and the other you're using any spiritual creature that wants to talk. So if I were to ask you, draw me a picture of an angel, how would you draw this angel?
Wings, halo.
Right. Yeah. And what would be the gender?
Probably genderless.
Female. Yeah.
I'm going female.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of people, they
typically
go,
female.
okay, it's a beautiful woman. It's a female with wings and a halo. And nowhere in history does it ever say that.
Right.
That's never, ever been said. As a matter of fact, every angel's name is a male figure. When they show up, the first thing they say is, please do not be afraid. Fear not. They freak people out because they are so different and probably bigger than life. And there's probably a lot going on there. So the first thing they have to say is, don't be scared. And these angels also, at one point in time, according to books and beliefs, some of them became fallen angels and became the leader of the dark side. So you've got the light side and the dark side. So I grew up, in a Christian household where angels were women, that were beautiful and sang songs and had wings. And I had to get through a lot of shades of glasses that I was wearing to see the truth of what does and does not exist. So in 2006, I was at the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and I had a conversation in a hallway with several witnesses, and we have the audio recordings of someone talking back to us that wasn't there. So that changed my belief that there is something, but I don't know what they are. Are we being messed with? Are we being toyed with? Or is this, are these really human, ghosts that are lost? And in the beginning, I started going with all the human thing. You start researching, you start listening to podcasts and reading books, and everybody's writing a book, Haunted Savannah, Haunted Wyoming, and you're reading all the stories, but your experiences start to show other things. You start losing interest in EVPs, and you start wanting to know what is going on in our reality. I've come to the reality that our natural being that we're in is not our real being. This is our dream state, and that our spiritual being, the one that that when we go to sleep at night and we sever ties with our body and we are able to, some people astral project, some people get ideas. Thomas Edison used to hold 2 pie tins in his hands.
Yep.
And when he'd fall asleep, they would hit the ground and he'd wake up and write down all of his ideas because he believed he was plugging into everyone else's spirit or consciousness. And we're not really natural bodied creatures. We are spiritual bodied creatures. And I believe that. So I believe this world that we're in may have some glitches and may be matrixy in a way, but it's not necessarily what we believe it to be.
Yeah, it make perfect sense. Just like when people like lucid dream and stuff like that. Like, where does that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people have dreams that they are they're prophetic. They project an event or something that someone that they know. They call them and go, "Are you okay?" And they go, "Yeah, I'm fine." And 3 hours later, they're not fine. And it's like, I knew it. And we've all had that moment where we go, I should have said something because no one's going to believe me that I dreamt this last night.
Yeah.
So.
Shit, that reminds me, guys, when we get off this podcast, I got to tell you about my dream. Remind me about that.
Oh, great.
There you go.
I'm going to die.
My dream last night, for reals. I woke up sad. But
No, that's awful. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
You were in Vegas.
We lost a lot of money.
It was depressing. Yeah.
No, but I get it. Yeah, I wonder where we came up with that whole like women or angels and what is that shit?
There is a verse in the Bible that says there's a vision and these creatures come from the sky with a scroll and they're bringing the scroll down from heaven, but they're called creatures, but they look like women with wings. And I think that's where they gathered, oh, well, that must be what angels look like. And they forgot that all the angels had male names. Yeah. So.
Or they forgot that in the Bible it states that angels have no gender. So.
Exactly.
Who are these people?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to probably put my 2 cents in and say that it's the New World Order. They're the ones that are confusing people, and we could get into that. That's a whole other.
I would love to have been I've been listening to so many podcasts about this. I still can't wrap my head around it.
You know what you should do? You should go work for a local news station. Because
I'll know.
The stuff that that you're not allowed to report on is crazy.
Okay, now you have to spill your guts. Go ahead.
Oh, I can't because they're gonna listen to this. They're gonna be like, you can't say that. You can't say.
No.
I can talk about ghosts and aliens all day long.
All right. Well, one day we'll get you when we're not recording.
Yeah, one day, right? Yeah. Over a latte or a beer, right?
Yeah. Yes, a latte and a beer, and you can choose.
See, that's called a callback. That was good.
You're welcome.
Right.
But no, I've always said that, like I said this, I feel like I said this in a recent podcast that like my theory about dying is that in theory, I have 2 of them. One would be that when we're past, so like, let's say my mom's passed, she's now playing like, Atari, and she's now viewing her past decisions. Now she's able to look at me in the simulated game of what we were playing and be like, oh no, Danielle, don't make those decisions. And then bam, I'm back. And then we're both playing the game and we're like looking at our, relatives and what have you. But yeah.
No, and that's cool. That's actually a really cool way to look at it. I mean, we really don't know, but we all have our thoughts, of this would make sense, or this would be great, and it kind of makes you feel good in a way,
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know until it's done.
Yeah,
or it's not done.
Have any of you guys had dreams that involved, like, let's say Jesus?
I don't dream, so
I dreamt that I was in heaven, but it wasn't like your typical heaven,
right? Or have any of you guys dreamt that you were a different kind of creature? Like, let's just be fun and let's just say like a satyr. You're like, half human and
Yeah.
half not.
No. Have you?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I have. And so, and I like to try and find like-minded people that have done it so I can go, oh, let's compare notes, but
That would be probably
um,
something Nick would think.
Nah.
See, I need to be like
yeah, Nick got
reality
quiet
based.
there,
He's like, shit, they know.
No.
right?
all-
Gotta go.
All my dreams, I'm usually just me.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell. I mean, from my perspective, I don't think I've ever looked at myself in a mirror or looked down at myself in a dream to see what I actually looked like.
I don't know if you do that?
You can lucidly. I have a lot of control in my dreams.
So do I, but I've never actually looked at my own body.
You should look at your hands.
That's what they
try and
say.
remember. The first thing you want to do is look at your hands. Yeah, it'll blow your mind. You'll be like,
what did you
"Oh,
see when you
whoa."
looked at your hands?
It depends. It really depends. Sometimes there's some type of, let's say, fur or some type of a different look. Your hands can look different.
That's crazy. I wonder
Yeah.
what's really happening there, like beyond that.
I think it has to do with like what I was saying, the whole, we're a different creature spiritually, and it might not be a very physical in this natural world look and feel and design, but in that world it's a little more, it's different.
That is mind blowing. Now I have to look at my hands.
Well, just look at your hands.
I don't lucid dream like all the time anymore. I used to do it all the time. I think the last time I did it, I don't know. Steve, you were there. It was like a
Couldn't tell
month
you that
ago.
either.
Yeah, when I was crying that day, I couldn't get out of my dream.
Oh yeah, that was annoying.
Oh,
Yep.
that sucks. Yeah.
You keep waking up. You're like, somebody's got to wake me up.
When my wife and I first got together, I was filled with nothing but nightmares all the time, and not nightmares like people have. They're whole other stories, whole other backgrounds. I feel like, I don't know if you guys ever have seen like Outlander.
Yeah.
So imagine that your dream, you're 500 years ago somewhere else, but not even on Earth. You're in another world. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
Like a whole nother
and then
timeline somewhere else.
yeah. And then you can't wake up, from it. You have a hard time. And I would struggle with that. And when I did, I would have to spend, 10 minutes just, decompressing.
You mean once you actually did wake up, or in that meantime?
Yeah. After I woke up, I would need, 10 or 15 minutes to just let it fall off my back so I could go about my day and not be all screwed up,
I wonder what
Because-
that is.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Like I've gone to the point where I've thrown not my physical body, but my dream body, across the room onto dressers just to wake myself up, or like flail my, and then, or
did it
you
work?
just keep waking up. No, it never works.
Doesn't work. I've jumped out of a window before, and I thought hitting the ground would do it,
Right.
and it didn't. And it didn't actually hurt either. I thought it did, but it didn't.
You kind of
And so,
was expecting.
and then
it
I
to
got
hurt.
up. Yeah, it was like, I'm still asleep.
Ugh. It's so annoying, but
Yeah,
it's so cool
it's
at the same
exhausting.
time. Yeah.
Right. It's cool. It's cool the next day after, you have your coffee.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, let's talk about our dreams, but right when you wake up, you're just looking around like, what is going on?
Oh my
You
God,
feel
I totally
numb,
get it.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It's like, where did you where do we go? It's so crazy.
Well, that's what my new book is about. I'm writing down a compilation of all the little pieces, and I'm trying to tie them together so that they make some sort of sense. I don't know. I'm on
that.
chapter 2, so that's as far as I got. And I'm like, this is hard. This is really hard to get this one out. But someone's going to read it and go, God, this guy is nuts.
Or somebody's going to read it like me and be like, oh, yes, I totally understand.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I've gone to, have you ever, other than lucid dreaming, have you ever had that where, what's that called? Like you can't move. You're in that state where you're awake and you're not awake, but you're not lucid dreaming. You're just there.
So, okay. You're held down.
Yeah.
And
Like sleep paralysis.
Yes, that's the word.
So a lot of people like to call it sleep paralysis, and I believe that does exist. But I also believe sometimes it's not that. Sometimes there is something holding you down, and you're wide awake, and you're not waking up out of your dream. You are trying to get up for real. And I've only had it happen one time, and it's a long time ago. I stayed at a friend's house in Colorado, and she collected very strange things. And one of them, she had found some human skulls in a river, and just wanted to keep them.
Oh,
And she had just brought them into the house, and so I'm sleeping on the futon out in the living room, and I cannot get up. And there's something in my face, but I can't see it. I can't make it out, but it's messing with the way things sound. It's like energy all up in my face. And I reached up with my hands and put my hands through it, but I couldn't grab onto it. But I could feel it all through my arms when I stuck my hands through it. It was like this blur of stuff, and it made kind of a weird warbly type sound. And I forced myself to sit up, and as I sat up, it was still there, and then it went down the hall and into another room. And I didn't know what to think then, but now I look back and I go, it was something having to do with the skull she found in that river, where there must have been a flood or something. I have no idea, but
And you're still friends with her?
no, I'm not. I'm not friends with
Oh,
her
okay,
anymore.
good.
Yeah.
are you sure she found them or?
Well, she's the type of person, she found them. But she also goes exploring for things and digging and excavating. And so she found them. She probably didn't mean to find them, but she definitely didn't give them up either. So
That's crazy. I wonder how old they were.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm past that part. I'm wondering how weird she is.
I didn't like them, but I mean, that, like I said,
Did she present them to you? Like, hey, look what I found.
Yeah, I come
I'd be
over
like,
and
"Hey,
check this
goodbye."
out. And she had this case with all these different skulls in it,
Oh my God.
rattlesnake skulls and raccoon skulls. And I'm like, oh, and she goes, and look what I found the other day. I'm like,
Hey,
what?
I got a snake,
Yeah.
a deer. That's George. I mean, I found that one.
Right. And this is the skull of a small child. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. Yeah. No.
This one's an Anunnaki.
Yeah. I don't know why small children, whenever someone says, and it's the voice of a small child, and I'm like, oh, that's scary. Run. It's never, some fat guy, the voice of some fat guy.
John Goodman.
Yeah, right. John Goodman or John Candy. Give me someone fun. Hey, bada beam, bada boom. Let's make it fun.
Because you expect that small child to start singing like, I don't know, a Freddy Krueger song or something.
I guess so. We're just stupid. We've been trained that small children are spooky. I don't know.
Well, they are.
I don't know. I've got small children. They're not scary. They're scary
be.
when they're awake.
No, when there's, oh my God, my daughter used to, speaking about dreams, she used to have sleep night terrors all the way up until she was 9 years old. And the shit that would come out of her mouth, you have no idea. One time she looked at me in the eye, and her eyes, I knew she was sleeping when her eyes were like pure black. And she looked at me in the eye. She goes, "You don't understand. I'm going to die." I'm like, I am out of here.
Now, you say pure black. You mean the whites were black too? Because you might have a problem.
No. So her eyes are brown, like not a dark brown, but like, yeah, her pupils would be completely dilated. Still scary.
But that does tell you something about, like we were talking about, when you sleep, you disconnect from your natural state. And so all these weird, knowledgeable wisdom tidbits we wake up with, and we forget them within like 5 minutes, unless you write it down,
Yeah, you
it's
gotta write it down.
hard to remember. And that's another thing. It's like we've been programmed to not remember anything you experienced while you were not in your body, it's.
Yeah, that's what Steve does. He not remembers every night. He doesn't even think he dreams.
Yeah,
I bet Steve, I bet you're like the happiest guy in the universe.
Probably.
He's pretty content.
He's probably like, yeah, whatever. Aliens could land. He'd be like, all right, well, let me get my cell phone. People aren't going to believe this.
There they are.
Gotta make sure I'm in the shot too, guys. Come on.
I knew this shit was
Instagram's I want to get the hits off this. Yeah.
It would totally be you.
He's totally just smooth and okay with everything.
Yeah, like they come to invade, and I'd be like, friends. People were like, the
Oh,
hell's
of
wrong with
course,
this guy?
Yeah, they'd be like, why is everyone freaked out? Steve would be like, don't worry, I'll go talk to them. He's the guy from Galaxy Quest, the engineer. The guy that played Monk. He's like, yeah, man, no, that's what happened. We beamed up. It was cool.
And today is brought to you by Jersey Cyclone Brewing. This is part 1 of 3. And first up, we have a hazy IPA called Microburst. It is 8% alcohol by volume. Certainly hazy. I think it tingles when it touches my tongue.
Yeah, I felt the same thing. I was like, ooh, that felt nice.
I did not. What?
I didn't
I'm
know
keeping this all in.
I didn't know a better adjective.
I did not feel that tingle.
You didn't get the tingle?
No.
Yeah, it felt like a micro burst on my tongue.
He's not lying. What? You didn't get that shit?
No, fuck you. Like when you sip, doesn't it go straight to the back of your mouth?
No. Tongue first.
I let it sit on my tongue for a little bit.
Fuck you. I put it right in the back of my mouth.
Oh.
So it's certainly fruity.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly delicious smelling. Certainly fucking delicious too.
Yeah, it's really delicious. Has a nice fruity taste to it, fruity smell to it.
Yeah, I like it.
Danielle, on your 1 to 10 hop scale, what are you thinking? Hazy IPA.
I'd say 7, 2.
7.2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's good.
No, I like it a lot. Nick, what are you thinking?
I'm at a 7.7.
All right.
Really good. Almost at that 8 mark.
Now I'm going to go with a 7.9. I'm a fucking fan.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's like borderline CFD.
Wow.
And next up, they have what they're calling Dew Point, which is a pale ale. However, quite hazy. It says 5% alcohol. Fuck, that's really good.
That's really smooth and crisp.
That's a very crushable beer.
Yeah. Like this one's like very easy on your palate, but in a good way.
This is something like you go out there, mow the lawn, you come in, and this is like refreshing for you.
You mean when I mow the lawn?
Yeah, when wife mows the lawn,
Yeah, I get
and I
it.
fucking drink this beer,
Yeah.
refreshing.
You see her mow the lawn, you sweat a little from her mowing, and you're like, fuck, I need a drink. Like that looks like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Fruity as fuck too.
It's super smooth.
Super fucking fruity.
Yeah. I would also agree.
Yeah, all I can say, it's very smooth, very crisp, and just, yeah, I could drink this again. Yeah, when I want, like, when I need something to relax.
I think I could drink a keg of this shit.
Yeah,
This is fucking good. This is certified fucking delicious.
there it is.
CFD.
I believe it. Yeah.
Well, all right.
Danielle, on your scale, 1 to 10 hops, where are you putting it?
7.5.
7.5. You must like it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like an everyday drink.
Okay. Nick?
8.8.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really good.
Nick fucking likes it.
Yeah, I
That's
could
big for Nick.
I could have a whole case of that and finish it same day.
You know, I tend to like, and maybe it's just a mindset, I always like the higher percent alcohol level ones. Maybe because I just want to get fucked up. I don't know. This one at 5%, you can drink a lot of it and like last a day. Being certified fucking delicious, this might be the highest certified fucking delicious rated beer. I'm not too sure. I don't pay attention to that shit.
It's a good thing.
9.1.
There it is. Yeah.
9.1 Dew Point, certified fucking delicious. Next up, they have a New England IPA, 8.3% alcohol, what they're calling Imperial Storm Cloud. Again, super fucking fruity. These guys love their fruits.
Yeah. Almost everything, just like they're throwing fruit in every beer, which is amazing.
You know, you sometimes expect the higher alcohol to have more like more hoppy, smells and taste to it, but this is fruity, really fucking fruity.
Speaking of smooth, I think that's like really, really, really smooth too. That was unexpected. From the look of it, it's totally unexpected.
Again, hazy as shit looking.
Yeah.
I'm just watching it smell.
Very smooth, very delicious. Yeah, I could see myself. Again, this is a good like nighttime beer, I think.
Yeah, they're saying it has some mango, tangerine, and passion fruit flavors in it.
Okay, yeah, I can taste that.
Tangerine?
That must be all the fruit we're tasting.
Yeah, it's definitely citrusy.
For an 8.3%, it's quite smooth.
Yeah, again for the 8.3%, you would think it almost like, all right, you'd think that high percentage, you're like, okay, that's a good beer, but I can't drink a lot of that because of the high percentage. But this is dangerous because it's so smooth at such a high percentage.
Yeah.
Dangerous in a good way.
Yeah, you could get in trouble that way.
Dangerously good.
Yeah, dangerously good.
And Danielle, on a 1 to 10 hop scale, what are you thinking? New England IPA.
Right. So I would go with a 7.6.
7.6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Smooth. You could drink it. You could drink a lot of it. It's nice.
Nick, what are you thinking?
8.1.
All right. I was going at an even 8.
Okay.
I gotta admit, these guys, and this is part 1 of 3, but they're getting some high scores on his first 4 beers, or 3 thus far. And the last one, they have what's called Uncharted Waters Peaches and Cream, which is a kettle sour. That is 6.2% alcohol.
That is the first sour that's been sour.
I can tell.
No,
That is sour.
Fuck, we need video for your face.
Yeah, like this is that one. I felt the sour, and then my stomach was like, because like that's a sour, and
That is a sour.
I like it. I
See,
like it.
That's like a
what
Sour
I've
Patch
always-
Kid. I mean, a Warhead.
That's what I've always been expecting every time you say sour. Never had it.
No, this has
Finally
been
had it.
sour,
God.
sour.
Yeah,
Take
I
a
would
really,
say
take a
this
big
is-
gulp, Danielle. Come on.
This is expected.
yeah. When I say I want to drink a sour, this is what I want to drink. This is what I want to feel. Most sours we've had so far have been more like, let's say, like sours for like beginners to get people into sours. But this is a sour that, like, if you love sours, this is what you want to be drinking.
It's fucking sour.
If you love that feeling you get when you drink a sour, like I'm salivating over here because of how sour it is.
Gross.
I'm not certain I taste any cream, and potentially not even any peaches. I don't know.
It's just sour
I'm
flavoring.
just tasting sour. I'm tasting like straight up Warhead sour, which is not bad. I don't know how much I could drink of this stuff.
I'm not a sour fan, but
Yeah,
if
no,
I were to say what I think a sour would be like that for sure.
Should be like for you.
Yeah.
yeah, like this is, but like a sour is supposed to you're supposed to sip a sour over like a extended period of time. Like for me, like this one can we have here, which is what 19.2 fluid ounces or a pint. That whole can will probably take me like an hour and a half to get through, because like it's
It's sour.
I want to taste that. I want to sit with it, and like I know that like it's gonna like hurt. It's gonna hurt it, but in a good way to drink this. And I want to. This is like sours aren't meant to be crushable.
Plus, this can's got a whole bunch of butt emojis on it.
Those are peaches.
Oh, those are peaches.
Yeah. Notice the green coming out of what you thought was the butt.
That's confusing.
That's a leaf.
I'm just going with Instagram. It's all butt. They post a butt picture and they put a little peach for the caption. Huh. Who would have thought?
Why are you looking at butt pictures?
Why not?
Oh.
So, Danielle, even though you're not a sour fan, what are you rating it?
So, because this is the first one that actually tasted like I thought it should, I would rate it high. Like, I would go 8. And for me, that's really high.
That is really high.
Yeah.
That is borderline confusing for the fans.
Well, because I'm a dark beer lover, I like more, common everyday beers.
So, in this rating, you're going with the fact that it's finally a sour that you think of when you say sours.
Yeah, I think that if you enjoy that type of beer, that
this
you
is the
would
one.
really enjoy that one. Yeah.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Nick, what are you thinking?
9.2.
Oh, Nick fucking loves his sour.
Is it CFD for you?
Yeah, this is definitely certified fucking delicious
This
for
is
me.
certified fucking
We got
delicious.
2.
Yeah, this
Sour beer from Nick. That's a sour ert. Sour ert. The sour expert.
connoisseur. Yeah, I love this right now. Like, I mean, I already like started taking bigger gulps because I'm like now I can like
Fucking sour me.
yeah, my palate can now handle it, and like this is really delicious.
Awesome.
He's in love. And I was gonna go with like a 7.7. It's what a sour should be. I'm still saving myself for like the ultimate sour, but this one's fucking up there.
I feel like for us, how we've been going, this is the ultimate sour so far.
Thus far,
Yeah,
this
thus
is
far.
the best sour we've had on the show.
Yeah, I'm saving my 10 for like that sour that when I sip it, like I start crying.
Okay.
Like that's what I want.
What's wrong, Nick? Just drinking.
He wants the whole warhead picture of like the head exploding,
Yeah.
cloud coming out, whatever explosion. And that is part 1 of 3 for Jersey Cyclone Brewing. You can find them at jerseycyclone.com or their Instagram at Jersey Cyclone Brewing. So what is your take on aliens?
My take on aliens, I cram everything into the spiritual creature world. I believe that there are so many strange creatures that live on parallel universes with us that call them fallen angels. You got those. You got, like I said, the ones in the Bible that are the winged women. You've got so many different types of creatures that, yeah, I guess call them aliens. They are not from Georgia or New Jersey or wherever, Montana. They're from another existence. So yeah, that's my take. They're not green men. Yeah, I don't believe
like
that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm always curious to hear people's different thoughts. Some people don't believe them at all. Some people are like, oh, they're totally here. They're you and I. I'm like, what? I'm not one of those.
Not me either.
I mean, you've got too many people with bootleg copies of Photoshop that are really messing with, Egyptian hieroglyphs and stuff. And they're trying to convince people that green aliens with black eyes exist. And I'm like, they're like, look at this hieroglyphic, it's got an alien on it. I'm like, yeah, let me see the EXIF data on that, because I'll tell you right now, that's Photoshopped. There's a lot of garbage out there that's misleading, just like in politics. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
people want you to believe
If there's so much out there, why don't we see it? And I don't want to hear this stuff. It's because the government won't let us see it. Just that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Now, I do believe that the government does know about these other planes of existence. I believe that, and I believe they're not wanting to tell us, not because they're scared we're going to freak out. I believe they don't want to tell us because that's just more crap for them to have to try and market around so that they win the next election. It's like, it's just a whole other realm,
Hey, Donald Trump is bringing us to the moon. So, hey.
I'm excited. I hope I get my own moon.
Just for you.
With his money, he's going to, hey, you can get your own moon. I mean, that'll be awesome.
He's going to paint it gold, like the Gold Star instead of the Death Star.
But what I did hear is the tiles that they used to use on the outside of the ships when we do go to the moon, they found a material that's even stronger, and it's his hair. And so they're going to be using his hair on the outside of these rockets.
Gross.
It's extraordinary. Yeah, the sun can't burn it. It just will. It'll always be there.
Nice. Donald Trump.
It's its own element. Yes.
Hey, if it works, it works.
I guess.
I don't know if it works. I question if it works,
Is
Steve.
that even his hair? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It works till there's a gust of wind.
pretty sure it's not.
If you're a photographer, everyone has complained about trying to get the focus right. And they're like, it won't focus on his hair. There's something up with that. We can get a focus on his face. But
I'm sure we've all seen the meme of him like bald. How badass would he look if he was bald? Like, why not?
you know what? I shaved my head a long time ago, and I realized the bald me can kick the unbald me's ass any day.
Yeah. See?
So I'm like, I'm sticking with bald head because I look like Mr. Rogers if I grow my hair out,
Well,
which isn't a bad thing. But yeah,
Yeah, come on. Fred Rogers was a good guy.
But not everybody has a good bald head either. You got to be careful.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd look like under here. You should shave your head. You're really close, Steve,
Close to what?
to shaving. You got short hair.
Just shave it, man.
Yeah,
Just
short
do
hair.
it.
I can't grow a beard, so like I look just bald like Mr. Clean or some shit.
Well, that's what I went for Halloween the first year I shaved my head. So yeah, it was Mr. Clean, and I won. So you should try it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
$100,
2020 is
man.
my year.
But you know how
I'm gonna be COVID, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean's a little
COVID, Mr. Clean with the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
little bit more
Mr.
Nordic.
Clean
than you.
and healthy. Yeah.
Mr. Clean and healthy.
Man.
So do you get any like negative feedback on your videos? Like I know you had that the one I watched with the chair moved, and I know you're telling
Oh,
me
yeah.
that it's
Everyone
nothing
says, "Oh,
happens,
yes.
but
Someone moved it, and I go, okay. I don't care. I know what happened. We film it. I don't have time to I don't have time to argue with people, and I don't have time to stage things. It's so if I was trying to get hits, I'd have more likes on my Instagram. Yeah, it just whatever happens. But yeah, I get a lot of negative. They're like, oh yeah, there's no ghost, and you're feeding the minds of blah blah blah, and then you get some religious fanatics that are just and you just smile and you pet them on their head, and you have another bourbon, and it's all good. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Another. We're talking 9 a.m.
Yes, we are. 9 a.m.
I guess that's the biggest problem with like proving, let's say, ghost or something like that, because no one's ever going to believe it unless it's them.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've seen a lot of things happen. I've filmed it on camera. You don't think oh, wow, we should have had a wider angle on that door so people could see that nobody touched it. And we should have had another camera on the other side of that door. I mean, you just don't think, to plan because you don't know what's going to happen. But I don't believe we will ever get photographic evidence or video evidence that proves ghosts any more than what we've got. And I say that I started Ghostology, my old radio show back in 2006. And I thought by now with all the cell phones, we'd have it, that proof that, but we don't. And I don't think we'll ever have it. And I think it has something to do with something that Carl Sagan pointed out a long time ago. I don't know if you've ever watched any old Carl Sagan.
Yes.
He's fascinating. He does something called Flatland, which I love, trying to explain the second dimension and the third dimension. If you watch that, you'll see how ghost or how the spirit world interacts with us and how we perceive it. So that explains that. As far as I'm concerned, you can YouTube that. Just YouTube Carl Sagan Flatland, and you'll see that it's a 5-minute video. And then there's another one. It's called the double slit experiment, and that is, you've got people from MIT that are performing this, and that basically says that particles behave one way when you're observing them. And then when you're not looking, they act a different way. When you're not recording or documenting or observing how they behave, they act a completely different way, very unpredictable. And they can't explain it. They'll never be able to explain it. And that's quantum mechanics for you. That's the basics of why all science doesn't work. And so I think that the spirit world will continue to mess with us, and we will experience it in very weird ways, but I don't think we'll ever have proof. Like, here it is, everybody. Here's Mr. Ghost. And I had a conversation with him, and you guys can believe it now. It just isn't going to happen. I don't think it's possible.
Right, because if it was going to, why hasn't it yet?
Right. And by now, come on, it's been almost 15, 16 years, as far as I'm concerned, being involved in. Now I just kind of do it. Like I said, no equipment. I'm not trying to get the proof. I just want to feel it. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to go, wow, that was pretty wild.
Well, I mean, getting back to your point where you're looking at a particle and just the fact that you're staring at it changes the particle itself.
Right. Isn't that weird?
It kind of explains exactly what you're talking about. Everybody's got their own perception. So if you're looking at a particle, but I'm also looking at an identical particle, we're changing it in two totally different ways.
Exactly. And then you bring up your cameras, and then it's not going to be either one of our way. It'll be completely different.
Exactly. So, isn't that fascinating?
So no ghost. Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, we have things like Curly in photography. You would think that something like that. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You would think something like that would capture it. Why didn't we get smarter on that?
But it doesn't, and I think we're opening up the diaphragm on a camera, to see everything. And when you do that, it's like, okay, instead of looking at this caterpillar, on this leaf, let's open up the camera and let's look at this entire jungle all at once. We don't even know what we're looking for. We have no idea what we're looking at. So it's like you'd have to spend a lot of time moving through that spectrum of light until you find the right substance that's reflecting the right way and record that and say, that's ghost substance, or that's spirit substance. But we don't know what it is. What is what is it? The second law of thermodynamics or something. I don't know. It out of my brain right there.
Sounds good.
They
Keep
say,
going.
yeah, there would have to be a brand new element added to our list, and there's no room for it. So,
well, no, we would just have to. If you think about that whole dimension thing if I bring it back there, and like if you put a dot on, like let's say a counter, and you're looking at the counter, you saw that you wrote a dot, but then you're looking at the counter, eye level now. The dots disappeared. Mm-hmm. We would just need a way to hover above that dot to find that dimension.
And how in the world
are we going to do that? But
yeah, I mean, that would take some. Oh, you know who has that money? Donald Trump.
There you
Maybe
go.
we can convince him to support. I'll vote for him again. Another 4 years if he invents a way for us to find this.
He's saving so much money right now. I mean,
But but you know what would really stink? We find it, and then it's kind of boring. It's like, oh well, all right. Well, we found Ghost, and now what?
now we talk to them. Like, where the hell you
Yeah.
been? What you
The
doing?
chase is so much more fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. I think it's like a girlfriend,
Right.
You
Yeah,
try-
you chase the
you know,
girl, you get the girl, and you're like, huh, well, look at that one over there.
right.
Wait, what?
Like
Oh, you're still
she's gonna
here?
have to be. She's gonna have to be really special to
Right.
keep you there, right? So, and mine is. So I'm a taken man forever, and she knows it.
Aw.
You too.
Yeah. Okay.
Or me too. Me too.
See, that was my lead in for you there, Steve. Come on, man. Take the lead. Here's the reins.
This is so embarrassing. Hold on. Unpause this now.
Love you, baby. Oh, Lord.
Unless,
Well, yeah.
simply put, ghosts are just smarter than us, and they're just never gonna get caught on camera.
Well, ghosts are supposed to be us, from what I was.
All right, so
told,
and then they're seeing everything anyway, so they're always got to be smarter than us.
Yeah. That's why I think they're not what we think they are. There's something else. But I believe that there's something messing with us. So, yeah.
Huh. Well, okay. So if you bring this back to your whole simulation theory, right?
Right.
So if you really want to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, if we're all simulated, then we have if you think about theology and God and stuff like this, wouldn't that just be a higher form of yourself?
Maybe. And let's erase the word theory and let's say simulation hypothesis, just so that we say it right and people
Right.
don't go, you got a theory. Wait a minute. No,
Yeah.
no, it's just a thought, But in the very beginning, if we're going to go with the Christian view, God made man to love him, but he gave them free will. He wants, people, men and women and children to love him, but he could have made robots, programmed to love him, kind of like the angels in a way, they have a little free will, but not a lot, apparently, if they want to argue with God and get overthrown and, the big battle. But let's just say, we're looking at people and he says, you guys can either love me or not, but I really want you just to want to love me because of the things that I'm doing for you and the things that I will do for you. And it's like throughout the Bible, that's all he constantly keeps saying. Even in the Old Testament, when people say he's an angry God, he's really not. They're the ones that gave him the ultimatum and said, no, punish us if we do something bad. And, they were like, Moses, you go talk to him. We don't want to go talk to him. We're scared. And it's kind of like, we kind of made all these rules up. So if God wanted to make a simulation, Sims like video game, and say, okay, I want these guys to love me, the creator. You guys run and do your things, get your jobs, meet your husbands and wives and have children. But I want you to love me too. And I want you to, do it on your own. I don't want to convince you. I just want you guys to do it. That's kind of a simulation. That is a Christian simulation, but might also kind of adhere to what it is that we're going through as well. Maybe. I don't know. Throwing it out there. It'd be an interesting game. You're the creator of this world and you want people to like you, but you can't tell them to like you. You can only, if they ask you, hey, can you help me, Lord? I don't feel good. Sure. Do they like you more and more because you're helping them, or do they like you more and more because, they're scared of you and you can smite them and stuff? I don't know. There's a game called Black and White. I think it's about that. That came out a long time ago. You can either be a bad God or a good God, and the people either fear you and worship you or love you and worship you. And yeah.
And there's two
I don't know if you
chapters to that.
Yeah, right.
But in the Bible, it also says, well, now we're just going to get way too far into it, but it also says, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
The hell does it say? It says, "We come into me, and you could be born." Oh, to be baptized is to be born again. But some people think that means to actually be born again, but it was changed. So why would a Sims need to be born again?
So here's something very cool, and I think we would totally derail this conversation, but the translation of the Bible alone has been really tampered with. So to find the original translations and then to compare, you'll get a better idea. There's so many weird things. I don't even know where to start on that. I'm not even going to touch that. Yeah, that. But I've done it. I went through all these classes, years of classes that help retranslate the Bible the way it was written and who it was written for at the time. So it's all kind of in perspective. So.
Yeah, I'd love to get my hands on something like that, somebody's thoughts like that. I read that you animated Squidward. Tell me about that.
Yes, I have. In the very beginning, I was an illustrator and an animator. And so I have had the opportunity to animate SpongeBob SquarePants. Season 2, I had my hands on that. Before that, a show called Angry Beavers. I worked, Angela Anaconda, and then I've animated Curious George and Fisher Price Little People and the Rescue Heroes, and I loved animation. I just loved it, and I got burnt out. I got totally burnt out. It's a lot of work. Animating is a lot of work. So I got into photography and film, and then that's where the whole reality TV thing broke loose, and doing short films and documentaries and things like that. And,
yeah, you did my 5 Wives, right?
I did. I went out looking for a family that was a polygamous family that was more about love and less about the fighting. So it was TLC's answer to Sister Wives.
Right.
And they thought people were going to like this because this was a family that, the guy had 5 wives, 26 kids, and they all loved each other. But after season 2, we realized our ratings weren't high enough to keep going because it was like one of the wives got cancer, and it was a very powerful show, very sad and real, very real. And they wanted to adopt, but they wouldn't let him and one of his wives adopt a child because they were polygamous. And a lot of struggles and weird stuff. So they said, people, they love the show, but it's too real, and they want to see people arguing and fighting and having sex with each other. And so we're going to just not re-up that. But yeah, it was a great show. And that family, the Williams family, are amazing. If you ever get a chance, Brady is a philosopher. He got his PhD in philosophy. He's a brilliant man, and he was going to school during the time for that. So he's graduated now, and just great, really good people, great friends. And it's cool to say, hey, I know some polygamists, like real ones, It's kind of
so
cool. Yeah. It is, hey, let me invite my friend over and his 5 wives. Wow, okay. And his 26
And
kids.
all their kids,
Yeah.
We're gonna need some.
Yeah, I'm not
tables.
coming to that party. Yeah. Doesn't sound like fun. A lot of diapers. But yeah.
Can't even handle one child. well, we have 2, but one's still small.
What is small?
No, I said one is still small.
Yeah, but like what is small?
Oh, 8.
Like
It's not really
oh,
small.
8. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
8 is small. 8 is small. Very much knows who they are now. So they have a great sense of self, I bet.
Oh yes, that's exactly what's happening.
He knows everything already, apparently.
Yes.
Right?
So
I don't
does
need you
the
guys.
20-year-old. But she's always known that since 8.
And that's different. 20-year-olds are different because they're like, oh, I got this all figured out. And you go, barely.
Yeah.
But yeah, go for it.
Maybe you think you do. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fun.
So we never talked about it. What is your favorite candy bar or candy?
My favorite candy is peanut M&Ms, and I will eat them all day long.
That is
Those are
a good
good.
one. I love
Very
that.
good.
Not bad.
And I don't eat them normally. I'll take one at a time, and I'll put it in my mouth, and I'll suck on it until it's nothing but the peanut, and that's how I do it.
Oh my God, you got
That is-
too much patience.
That is taxing.
But it's incredible. What an experience. You're like layer after layer. It's just like how I am with people. I like to get to know them. So
That sounds like a diet, though. Like, screw that. I'm not waiting to
A
bite
diet?
into that.
No. I buy the 7-pound bag. It takes me a week to get through it, but I can do it. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's your favorite, Steve?
Geez, I don't know. I'd probably have to go with like Reese's. However, the 100 g bars are
Never had
like
that.
severely
I love the 100 grand.
They're
That is
severely
an incredible
underrated.
bar.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like barely. It's like on the low part of the shelf. They're like, oh, we don't give a shit about this one, but it's fucking delicious.
exactly. But in the bottom of the
Low.
Halloween bucket, when you find it, you're like gold.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe no one took this shit.
It is caramel and Crispies and chocolate. Oh, it's so good.
Wait, is that like the one that they throw in the pool in Caddyshack? Is that what it is?
I don't know specifically what they used.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had 100 g.
I never focused on that element in the movie.
Just because I know
What
I've
kind
never
of candy
eaten
bar
anything
is
like
that?
that particular.
That is so funny.
Sure wasn't a whatchamacallit, that's for sure.
No,
No,
I have to go look that up now.
yeah, it's like a thing. It's like a bar of caramel, really, and then it's covered in
Right.
chocolate and like Rice Krispie. Like
It's so
chocolate.
good.
It's amazing.
So good.
It's literally
Yep.
worth 100 g.
How about you, Nick?
It really is. It's underrated. I agree with you, Steve.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's like a
They're all
basic
good.
white
Now-
chick right there.
now I need some
Always.
candy.
You guys can have my Kit Kats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they make dark chocolate ones too now.
you can have those too.
Oh my god,
More for you.
more for me.
The problem is when they change any, the original recipe just never works. Like all the different Reese's, none of them are as good as the original Reese's.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
Not
know.
the extra
Yeah.
peanut butter, not the one with the more chocolate. Like, none of
Those-
that shit's extra like good.
those extra cups
Exactly.
we thought we were getting some gold, but no.
Yeah, real big cups.
Just
I'm
didn't
like,
have
you
the
just screwed me.
ratio.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Now, here's a conspiracy theory for you guys. Have you noticed that all of the candy, all of it has slowly gotten smaller?
Probably, yeah. No, I haven't noticed
Like-
that.
Like even the Reese's cups are like, oh, they're not as big as I remember, and you'll get
Or
a
did we
Snickers, and
grow?
like a regular size Snickers. I'm like, that's not regular size. This thing's like, I don't know. I think they've slowly been shrinking stuff on us.
I feel like we should go back to the 70s. And
Well, yeah, I'm gonna
pull
need
the
a picture
originals.
of like an
Right.
old candy bar size,
Yeah.
and then find a size today. You know, like everyone
That's
calls
what we
us.
need to do. Yep.
Yeah, but I need someone that's not photoshopped though. That's not making
Oh, I
it
know.
worse.
No, we need to actually find the actual candy.
Right.
We'll
Well,
have to go to the Smithsonian. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we got to go.
I mean, it's very possible.
We're
'Cause
headed there now.
Yeah,
They
everyone's,
have it on display. You know they do.
yeah,
The very first Snickers.
yeah, I need to know. I need to know now.
All right.
Well, it's like everyone's like, oh, I got this half-gallon ice cream. No, you know, it's 1.5 quarts. They
And
they
you know
changed
that
shit.
for sure.
They changed it. They changed it a lot.
It's depressing. They did.
Yeah, no, they did change.
It took
a lot of
half a
stuff.
quart and kept the price. People are like, oh, ice cream hasn't changed price forever. I'm like, okay, sure.
Right. I still use my grandma's scoop, and you know what? It's changed size.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, cereal boxes got like crazy small.
Skinnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The family size is a normal size these days.
I know, $8. I'm like, that's 3 bowls of cereal in there. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I bought it like the other day. I was craving Frosted Flakes like crazy, and I almost cried at the price. I was like, this isn't worth it.
Like real tears or just like, theoretical
I was
tears?
upset.
Wow.
Oh, Steve, I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I threw that box away on you because it went stale.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I opened it and ate it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like I had one bowl out of it, and it was satisfying, but not for like the $8.
I don't think it's so much of a conspiracy as it is a just douching the American people.
Yeah, but they should tell us,
Yeah.
like an email blast from
They
Mars.
should ask us, right? We should be involved. What happened to due process and voting and all that stuff?
Invite everybody to the Hershey Park in a PA and be like, listen, we're thinking about shrinking the Hershey bar. And just see what happens.
How do you guys feel about it, right?
Well, they should say, would you rather us shrink it or we're just going to charge you way more money? What would you do?
Keep it the same. Oh, that was an option?
That was not an option. There's no C.
So do they have them on display when they say that? Because I would grab a handful and run and then just, I wouldn't worry about it.
Like, that's like a Willy Wonka move. Like, I
Right,
don't
but then
know
you
that should
divide
do
that by the
It really
difference what
is,
happens,
right?
and
Yeah.
it's like, changes.
Stole my fizzy lifting drinks and now it's a whole thing.
I would not have made it through Willy Wonka's little journey. I would have been the first one out.
The first one? Which
yeah,
one?
they would have
Was
been
that
like, oh,
Augustus? Who was that?
I think it was like Augustus.
Yeah.
He ate
The
drink.
chocolate. It was so good.
What a
Yeah.
jerk. Glutton.
Hey, no, it's
That's me.
Wonka's fault. He said you could eat anything in there, and then he goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
but don't fall in the river." Well, that wasn't on the list of warnings.
He got
Exactly.
greedy.
The guy said everything is available to be ate.
Hey,
Now, let's be fair. We saw the size of Augustus, and we know what he
Yeah.
liked.
true.
So,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, if I saw that river, I'd be drinking it too. Come on now.
I would not because there's just too much shit that could have floated in that river.
Yeah, like a small child.
Like skin flakes and no, I'm not.
Skin flakes.
right. And there you go with the small child again. There you go. That place has got to be haunted after what happened there that day.
Haunted. They have Oompa Loompas. It's already scary.
It's scary if you call it skin flakes. That's your bargain brand. Oh, I got frosted flakes or skin flakes.
Oh man, there's a theme park and product line for you.
The cannibals.
Welcome to America.
That should be the Halloween cereal of next decade.
Oh man,
Instead of Boo Berry.
Blueberry.
Oh, and Boo Berry is terrible now. What happened?
I thought it was better, right?
Yeah, it was so much better when I was a kid.
Me too. Oh my God. I feel like corn syrup happened
Corn syrup, yeah.
or something. Some kind of synthetic
don't know.
shit. All cereals taste crappy. Like my favorite cereal was honeycombs. Totally tastes different.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they messed with that recipe. Yeah,
They
that's
did.
gone.
They did. I thought it was like my own self, and no, it's yucky.
Well, when you can save 5 cents a box times 5 million boxes a year or some crap, and it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5 million boxes a month, probably.
They don't care about our health. They just care about money.
And now they have weird cereal like Unicornios. I'm like, Unicornios?
Cornios?
Churro Crisp. What is this?
Are you serious?
Go look. Oh, go look. You're missing out on some of the weird cereal we've got these days. They're strange.
Totally doing a cereal podcast.
No, you have to. And they're all messed up. Like there's nothing good about any of the new ones.
Huh.
I'm like, Sprite cereal. I don't know if that's going to be
No.
any good.
Is that a
I
thing?
like Sprite, yes.
Oh, God.
Do you put milk in it or more Sprite?
Does it fizz?
I don't know.
I would
It's
put
just
more Sprite in
absolutely
it.
wrong. Yeah.
I just wonder if it's like a dying product
Brand.
line. Like
No
cereal,
caffeine.
Like cereal
you
in
know.
general. Like who's there eating cereal? Besides my mother in her Fiber One cereal.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one for, old people.
But no
I
one's,
don't know.
no-
Cheerios is still a big thing.
I don't know.
Oh, we love
Well,
Cheerios
you give them to
here.
the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like as
Oh,
a
yeah.
cereal as much as like a snack.
But that's the thing. I think cereal as a brand is targeted towards the children and not towards us adults. It's more meant for them. I mean, look at all the mascots.
They don't even have time for that shit. I'm like, come on,
That's
kid, you got to go to
true,
school.
But like cereal used to be like the cheap option for a family, but now it's not. Now it's cheaper to like make pancakes or something. But do you have the time to do that? Do you just want to throw a bowl and a box in front of the
You
kid?
are right. See, he's
Eggos.
speaking the
Hey,
truth.
you throw
There
them
it is.
like a thing of toast. You're like, fucking eat, let's go. We got to run.
And, then,
I'm
and
late.
then they've got the bagged ripoff that has the crazy monkey as a mascot or something weird. You're like, what is that? That's not even. It's like Happy-O's, and I'm
It's
like,
a 7-pound bag of cereal.
I just
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know,
thoroughly
man.
enjoy the bag because it's like you can see what's in there. The boxes
Yeah.
are like, once you open the box, it's like half full.
And a whole nother problem
I
with
know.
cereal actually too is, in this day and age, why couldn't they afford to put a resealable bag, like a Ziploc bag in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I say that every time I open fucking cereal. I'm like, why?
This is the most derailed conversation ever. Fucking cereal.
Okay, let's get
General
back to
Mills
chips.
on the phone
How about
right now.
family-sized chips?
Family sized chips, also a ripoff.
Completely. It's not families. Oh, I guess a mother and a father and a child. That's a family. There you go.
As
Yeah,
long as
it's
only the
enough for
father's
three
eating it.
people.
Yeah, it's
There you
it's a family size for one sitting.
Exactly.
You're paying
That's
for
messed
air.
up.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I hate chips.
Well, the air's not really their fault. If you do watch like how they make it, or whatever, it fills the bag, but then the chips get shifted around and fall to the bottom through gravity when it gets shipped out. But the bags are filled to the top. It's just like
I get
Some
that.
sort of reverse Tetris.
Yeah.
Just push themselves down.
But there should be an extra machine at the end that
just
takes the
shakes
air
them.
out, and then they add the rest of the chips into the bag and seal it.
Oh, like
Yeah,
a
that's
double
bullshit.
fill. They should tell that. Double fill chips.
Right?
It'll still have
Double
air and be less.
Double stuffed.
Oh,
Glutton
gross.
chips. Yeah.
But
Let's
why
be
are pork rinds so fucking full? They don't give a shit about them.
Why are those even a thing?
Well,
That's gross.
that's meat. That's just a bag of meat.
I've never had one, but I don't expect to ever have one.
You should try one.
I'm a vegetarian. Well, a pescatarian.
Oh, I think they're vegetarian. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pork rinds are vegetarian. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they had a vegetarian diet probably.
Yeah.
I know
like
you can eat them on
garbage.
keto, though. That's pretty cool.
That's right. That's the only thing you can eat on keto. Pork rinds. There is no other snack.
Or their alternative brand, Porky O's.
Well, you got to have Porkios. You got to have a competitor. Yeah.
Right. You need to. Yeah. Well, everybody has to have a competitor.
Wow, this is fun. We went everywhere.
Yeah, this has gone all over the map.
Yeah. I liked it.
So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
we-
pleasant.
It was good. It was good. I think we touched everywhere, like you said. So why don't you throw out where everyone can find you?
Okay, I would say if you want to find me, which God bless you, hit me at Instagram. That would be a break with Brian. A break with Brian at Instagram, and that's the best place to find me. I post all the stuff. I'm doing all the weird stories, ghost stories, or I do a drawing lesson every week. Tomorrow I will be at the St. George Fort here where all the Scots landed. If you watch Outlander, that's where they ended up, is
I
in
do.
Darien. So I will be there tomorrow morning at 9:00, and I'll post pictures and stuff from that. My book will also be advertised there, so you can check that out if you like to read, or find me on greatreads.com. Just look up Brian Byers. That's me.
Easy enough.
Yep. Pretty simple.
And as always, you guys can find us at thebeerlatteshow.com and the Beer Latte Show on Instagram and Facebook, and Beer Latte on Twitter. And if you're looking a way to support this show, you can go to patreon.com/thebeerlatteshow. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. This drip all on my body, soaking wet the sunny. Looking like a walking liquor, you can tell